Don't worry, it's just Dave. I was wearing a mask. What is up? Back at Dave the Confused. I'm Dave, still confused, and today we're talking about the best masks in horror movies. Halloween is my favorite time of the year, and one of my favorite parts about the holiday is the costumes that people put on. Yeah, I know as you get older, there's all these ridiculous costumes about being like the sexy nurse and the super good looking plumber and blah blah blah, and you know, but the best costumes are always the ones that are a little bit scary, a little bit creepy, and the ones that kind of stop you in your tracks and we're like, oh my god, what were they thinking? It's crazy. And I think part of what makes those Halloween costumes so amazing are the movies and the monsters that they try to embody. Sometimes one of the scariest things about a horror movie character is the mask, or maybe what the mask is hiding. And let's be honest, when Jason takes off his mask, what's under there, I don't think anybody's prepared for. Like, it's awful. There are so many fictional characters that wear masks, good or bad, sometimes just to hide their personal identity or to hide something even more evil and sinister. So today we're going to be talking about my personal favorite masks from horror movies. And as an awesome surprise, Jessii V and Ty are going to be telling me about their favorite masks from their favorite horror movies. Now, due to this crazy concept that we've been talking about recently all over the internet called social distancing, Jess filmed her part from their place. And I'm going to kind of stitch it into this video so you get the best of both worlds. I'm going to tell you my first mask, and then I'm going to hand it over to Jess and Ty to let you know their favorite masks. And then we'll come back to me and my last mask, and then we'll let you on with your day. So my first mask I wanted to kind of talk about at least a little would be the Jason Voorhees mask. Now I know a lot of you out there are being like, oh, typical mask, horror movie, obviously we're talking about Jason, right? Wrong. Sort of. Not the Jason you're thinking of. The average Friday the 13th fan obviously thinks of the iconic old school hockey mask that Jason usually wears. And don't get me wrong, it's an iconic, amazing mask for the character that's lasted through generations of horror movies. But that's not the mask we're talking about today. In the movies, in part 2 of Friday the 13th, Jason dons what almost looks like an old school executioner mask, where it's made out of a burlap sack that he puts over his head and tied with a rope and has one hole for one eye. That's it. He uses this mask while he dismembers his victims, literally until he finds the hockey mask. And when he finds that hockey mask, it's a match made in heaven because he never really takes it off after that. But I really like the concept of the like savage type mask that he had beforehand. It works on so many levels, as in it's an old executioner style mask, which fits perfectly with Jason because he's basically just a crazy executioner with just a lot of family problems. I don't know. But it's so unknown to the average moviegoer because when they think of Jason, they think of hockey mask. You know, they barely even remember that it was actually Jason's mom who was the first killer in the Friday the 13th parts. And Jason didn't kill anyone until part 2. So just because it's a huge forgotten piece of horror movie cinema history, I really wanted to bring it up in this movie and say, hey, look at this! Look at this mask! So now that I've said my first mask, let's hand it over to Jessii and Ty.
Hey guys, it's Jessii V, and today I'm going to be telling you guys what my favorite horror movie masks are. Unfortunately, I'm not in my studio. As you can see, we're currently at my mom's house, so we have pairs behind me.
Very nice pair.
Dave and I couldn't collab in real life because social distancing. It really sucks, but I'm gonna say 2 of my favorite horror movie masks. The first movie is actually kind of underrated. I don't know if a lot of people have heard of it, but it's the movie Creep. There's actually 2 different movies, and it's about this secret murderer guy who invites over this videographer to videotape his entire day, but little does the videographer know this guy is actually a murderer and is super creepy, like the title of the movie. During the movie, he brings out this wolf mask that he calls Peach Fuzz. So he literally named this wolf mask Peach Fuzz.
Wasn't there a song as well?
There's a song he sings.
And a dance.
It's dance, and it's really weird, and he puts on this wolf mask and is totally quiet at one point, and it's just so scary. If you guys have not seen this movie, please check it out, but that mask really does freak me out. And then the second mask that I love from a horror movie is the bunny mask from Donnie Darko. I don't know if Donnie Darko is really considered a horror movie per se, but it definitely has a lot of really scary aspects in it.
It's definitely Darko.
It's definitely Darko. Thanks, Ty. But that bunny mask really freaks me out. What's the bunny's name again? I can't even remember.
Johnny, I think.
Johnny? No. I don't know. Comment down below what the bunny's name is. Or maybe Dave, you can tell me, but I don't remember. But those two masks in horror movies really freak me out. So now Ty's gonna say what his is. The pears.
We gotta stand in front of the pears to do this properly. So, being put on the spot, really, when it honestly comes down to horror movies, I'm not as much of a fanatic as both Jessii and Dave are. I feel very inferior when it comes down to it because you guys have like knowledge, all the background stuff and all that. Probably my favorite, just for I'm thinking this is the story behind it. Not 100% sure, I might be wrong. It could be just one of the rumors flowing around about it, but it's the Michael Myers mask from Halloween. And the reason for it is because I believe the story behind it is that they needed to get this creepy mask. So they went down to just a Halloween store and picked up a William Shatner Captain Kirk rubber mask, slapped white paint all over it, and put a wig on it. And that's where you get the mask. That's the Michael Myers mask, is a William Shatner Star Trek Captain Kirk mask. It's just kind of funny. Another one that I like, just more so for the style of it and also because of the phrase, "get to the chopper," and all that, is from Predator. I just always like that kind of style of the mask itself, and also Predator underneath is pretty cool as well. It's so sleek and like shiny, and it's a different type of alien type mask because everyone expects like those little green men and maybe have like a little tiny helmet or whatnot, not this stylish like battle mask.
Yeah.
I always thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much my 2 submissions.
Anyways, those are our favorite horror movie masks. Thank you, Dave, for having us for this virtual collab.
Wow, guys, thanks. That was great. That was super lame of me to say that. So, bad transition. Okay, so for my second and final mask of the movie, I used Ghostface from Scream. The main reason I wanted to use Ghostface in this video is literally because Scream basically almost saved the horror movie genre, the slasher genre, when it was on like a huge decline in popularity. And the mask was already sold in stores beforehand. It was kind of just a very generic Halloween mask, but it blew up after the movie. Like it blew up. And still to this day, like over 20 something years later, this mask is still iconic and still one of the most popular Halloween costumes of all time. It's so simple in just being a mask and like a robe and some black gloves and the little knife that comes in the package. But because of the story behind it of all 4 movies, it's just, you know, everybody knows who you are and what you're doing in the costume when you wear it. I think because it's so relatable, there's nothing supernatural about it. You know it's just a person in a mask, in a cape, but essentially what they're capable of and what they're doing and the story behind them just makes it so iconic. So that's why I went with the Scream mask, Ghostface, my last mask. Well, thank you so much for Jessii V and Ty for being in this video and social distancing. I always love making videos with those guys, and they're awesome. So if you haven't seen their channel yet, and I'm sure you have, go check out Jessii V channel and definitely go check out the V Vlogs channel because both of them are super entertaining and awesome. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Dave from Dave the Confused. We talked about our favorite Halloween horror movies, slasher masks. What are your favorite masks? What are your favorite Halloween costumes? Leave in the comments below because I really want to know. And you never know, your comment may end up in another video. So, thanks for watching, and what other videos would you want me to do? Leave everything in the comment below and like and definitely subscribe. Well, thanks for being here. I'm Dave, still confused, and at least our dogs aren't werewolves. Peace.